Yes, this is a question. Okay, for this, we have to study separately. And I would say that finally, this is so precious to get some glimpse of emptiness before we die. Before we die, we must get a glimpse of emptiness. We must. And some teachers, some people may say, "You're talking about getting a glimpse of emptiness. It's very difficult, right?" Don't pay heed to these people, right? They will only discourage you. It's very difficult. It's the Geshes and the day job. No, everybody can get emptiness, guaranteed, provided you put little effort. And don't think that I'm making it too easy, right? Don't think, okay, he said you'll get it, so I'll get it. Okay, so next time, Dhamma friends, Israel again, the teaching comes, I'll come. Right? No, this is not sufficient. Put little effort from your side. It's not easy as, you just read a story, you get it. It's not like that. It's not as difficult as how do people say, "Oh no, it's very complicated, it's very high level teaching." Don't pay attention. Don't pay heed to these things. Your job is just study. Study, reflect, and meditate. And then you'll get somewhere. The moment while we are saying something here, and you say, when I ask a question, you said yes, you end up in contradiction. When you realize that there's a little contradiction there, you are waking up. There's awakening happening in the process of you finding your own contradictions. You're getting it? This is so precious. This is how we proceed towards the experience of emptiness. Okay, so now the question is,
the two first lines is a sort of description or telling you what we are going to talk about. But in the fourth line, I understand. The third line,
immersed in the own very awareness. So,
who is immersed and what is the awareness?
All the aspiration prayers and what comes out of the aspiration prayers of the Buddhas, they emerge from the Buddha's own awareness, Buddha's own mind. Okay. 30. Now, how can I get emptiness? How can I understand emptiness? So far, what we studied last time, yesterday, about what is emptiness. This is actually the answer being given here, right? So first, we need to make a distinction between the two things, ultimate analysis and conventional analysis, right? From this, what you realize, there's no object except for the appearances happening to analysis. From the object, there's nothing really there. If you get it, you're getting somewhere of emptiness. Okay, now let's see. Stanza 13. Any horns they are on a rabbit's head. So yesterday what we said was we talked about the dream. Is it subjective or objective? Subjective. The mirage. Subjective. Which means, what means by subjective? Very quick. Okay, raise hands. Raise hands. What do you mean by subjective? Raise hands. Raise hands. Raise hands. There. Something generated from the mind. You're getting something generated from the mind. Okay, very good, thank you. Anybody else who likes to say something, put something slightly differently from this? Meaning could be the same, but the vocabularies can be different. It can be from different angles, yes?
Exists only in the mind. Exists only in the mind.
Okay, exists in the mind, not in the object. Anyone else? Okay, mental projection. Subjectivity means mental projection by your mind. Very good. Anybody else? Okay, very good. So meanwhile, keep in mind that because that we are really doing a Herculean task within such a short span of time, right? So therefore, the point is that generated by the mind, exists in the mind. Okay, projected is a little better. So these two ways of putting it can take us to the Chittamantra philosophy and the Madhyamaka philosophy. There's ambiguity there. There's ambiguity there. Both are very profound. How you understand it? Some can take these two to understand the philosophy, Chitta philosophy. And others can they take this to understand the Madhyamika philosophy. Projected by the mind, that is more from the Madhyamika. You're getting it? Okay. So these nuances, what I would suggest that, okay, yesterday it was just thought, okay, I think I was talking to Inbal yesterday on the way, saying that the recordings that we have, I hope is of some quality. Okay. So there, what I would suggest is that because that you're already here for this class, if you can listen to this once again, right? It is like the hard work, the main hard work you've already done, like digging the earth. Once that is done, now just to polish it, refine it. You listen to it again, you will be fascinated that you will understand much more. Whereas if you don't, repeat it, revisit these teachings, what happens is that you dig the earth is very tiring. Meanwhile, the dust is gathered again, and again you will fill up. Again is square one, right? So to make sure that it is well registered, you have to read these texts over and over again. And the discussions that we had, interactive discussions that we had, you visit it over and over again. That will have a deep impact on the mind. Okay. 30. Any horns there are on a rabbit's head. Okay. A rabbit does not have a horn. And don't debate with me. There's one place there, there's a rabbit there. Don't debate with me. Okay, a rabbit does not have a horn. Okay, let's say the rabbit does not have a horn. And they say where there's no horn, then you just say the rabbit's ears, you see as a horn, right? And then you say that this is the rabbit's horn. And then you know, no, that's not the horn, this is the rabbit's ear. I see. When you say I see, so the rabbit horn, you realize to be objective or subjective? Subjective. You getting it? Subjective. Subjective means it's not objective. Don't forget it. This is very important. When I say the rabbit horn is subjective, means it is not objective. It is not and empty mean the same. It is not objective. It is empty of being objective. It is empty of being objective existence. Empty of being objective existence is what is referred to as the emptiness. If somebody says, what is emptiness?
Empty objective existence.
Yes. Don't just say that, oh, this book is emptiness, this book is not emptiness.
Mm-hmm.
Right? This book is what we can see, we don't see the emptiness. So this book is not emptiness. This book has the nature of emptiness. Right? If somebody asks what is emptiness of the book, you say that the emptiness of objective existence of the book is the emptiness of the book. Emptiness of objective existence of the book is the emptiness of the book. Emptiness of objective existence of myself is the emptiness of myself. You getting it? So this is how we have to present emptiness. Now, emptiness of connotation, something exists subjectively. Something exists subjectively implies what? Implies not objectively existent. Not, nil, empty mean the same. So, not objective existence, empty of objective existence. You getting it? Okay, this is okay. Any horns there are on the rabbit's head are just imputed. Imputed meaning coming from your mind. Imputed and do not exist. Just so all phenomena as well are just imputed and do not exist. Likewise, just as the horn of a rabbit exists through mental imputation, subjective imputation, everything else exists through subjective imputation. How do we know this? This is the next question. Stanza 31. Also the horns of an ox. Ox, does it have horn? Yes. Not only the rabbit's horn is subjectively imputed, empty of objective existence, even the horns of the ox also do not exist objectively. They are subjectively real, as having the nature of particles. How? How the horn of an ox? Because horn of an ox exists. How is it subjective? Even that is also subjective. How that is subjective? Even the horn of an ox, do you agree with me or not that it is made of millions of atoms, millions of particles? None of the atoms of that, the horn's ox, what? Ox horn? Okay. None of the particle of the ox horn is the horn. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
Okay. So there, if you subject the horn with the ox to ultimate analysis, again we see that the horn is not there. Right? It's just a bunch of atoms, that's it. So it's just a bunch of particles. So it says, also the horns of an ox do not exist because it is just having the nature of particles. It's just having the nature of atoms, particles. Just as before, so is after. So, say it is, we see is the ox, the what? The horn of the ox. I'm combining the ox and the horn together. Okay, the horn of the ox. So when you see that, when you see the horn, there's a horn of ox there. And then when you see very closely, it's just a bunch of atoms. So when did it become a bunch of atoms? Now or before? Before. Before, now also, and after also. Right? So the fact that it appears as a horns, the ox horn, that is just appearance. Otherwise, before, after, and now, the reality over there, it's just besides the appearance from the object, there's nothing there, so the horn. And that reality is not just today, it's the reality of the before, of the after, and today is the reality of all phenomena. Just as before, so is after. What's to be taught here? So where is that horn besides the mere appearance? Besides the mere appearance, universal object, there's nothing as a horn there. There's nothing for you to think of a horn there on the object. What's to be taught there? 32. Since things dependently originate, and independence too will cease. So originate, arising and ceasing. Originate means arise. Arising and ceasing. So okay, if you turn to the morning we read the stanza. Okay, page 2, the stanza 4, which reads independent origination. There is no ceasing, no arising. So ceasing and arising. Ceasing and arising marks a very important attribute of the universe, of the functionality. Ceasing and arising. Impermanence. Impermanence means something comes into being and that ceases. Comes into being, that ceases. Arises and ceases. Arises and ceases. Okay, so arising and ceasing. If you can see the emptiness of the arising and ceasing, because all impermanent phenomena, they are marked by arising and ceasing. Origination and ceasing. Origination and ceasing. This is what marks impermanent phenomena. So if you see the emptiness of the arising and ceasing, emptiness of arising, emptiness of ceasing, then you see that you can apply this to all impermanent phenomena. When the impermanent phenomena, when you see the emptiness of that, to see the emptiness of the permanent phenomena is very easy, because permanent phenomena is not something, a different entity. These are all just imputed on the basis of the impermanent phenomena. You getting it? I know you because we are doing like PhD program in 3 days, right? I know that you from your eyes I can see that no we get it. You don't get it. Okay, if you see the emptiness of the impermanent phenomena, to see the emptiness of permanent phenomena is easy, because permanent phenomena is not like okay the Thanga is there and the light is there, two different entities. No. So you see emptiness of this, it doesn't guarantee emptiness of this Thanga. But with the permanent impermanent is not like two entities. It's just the same entity. Permanent phenomena is nothing other than what is linked with the impermanent phenomena.
Is the permanent phenomena the negative?
It doesn't matter, negative, positive, it doesn't matter, right? Permanent phenomena, mostly they are impermanent, mostly they are negative phenomena, permanent phenomena, but there are some positive phenomena, permanent, right? Okay, so your question is, what examples do you have for permanent? So far I learned in Buddhism that nothing is permanent, right? In the first place, your understanding is wrong. In Buddhism, nothing is not impermanent, right? Only composite things are impermanent. Which means composite phenomena, all composite things are impermanent it means something else. There's non-composite phenomena which is permanent, right? So just we read the first line, all composite things impermanent, the Buddha talked about everything impermanent. That's not true. You're getting it? There are many things which are permanent. Yes, emptiness is permanent, space is permanent.
Silence.
Huh?
Silence.
Silence. Okay, silence I think is impermanent. Silence is impermanent. Mind is not permanent. Mind is the best example of impermanence. Mind is impermanent. Huh?
Mind is an object, is always going.
Yes, this morning we learned that, right? Impermanent phenomena, there are three categories which always remain. Yet it is impermanent. We already learned it this morning. Leora, this morning you were there. Right. Huh? A dot. A dot is permanent, not impermanent. Yes.
Buddha nature.
Buddha nature. Buddha nature too. Proliferating Buddha nature is impermanent. Natural Buddha nature is permanent. Okay, so now we are taking me, we are still on stanza? Stanza 30, and this is the last day. We have 101, no, we have 70 stanzas left now. Okay. So these are very interesting discussions. What I will say that there are some who are doing the London Masters course and who are also exposed to the philosophy studies for many years. Why not they say, Shahala, you can organize some kind of group, those people who are interested to do these studies in the form of group studies. Why not? These are very important questions, interesting questions. Yes? Okay. So there are many, it's not just one time. I was teaching on Buddhism, and I explained it in a very simple way. And there was one monk from, I think, Thailand or Burma. He came to me and said, Geshe, this is the Tibetan Buddhism, which means it's very easy. Then I said, yes. And then next time I deliberately taught the very complicated things. Then he came to me, he said, no, I cannot understand Buddhism, Tibetan Buddhism at all. Right? So these are two extremes. So the point is just keep going, keep studying, then you will, this is a natural phenomenon that you will come to learn it. Okay, this is a matter of, you don't just have let's say, a bonfire of interest now 3 days, and the next time, Charlie says, now who are those who are interested, and nobody shows up. Right? Don't do that. So at the moment I can see tremendous, from the face I would see that there's the blazing interest, right? What is permanent phenomena, right? So how permanent phenomena go tied with the impermanent phenomena? I know you have these other questions coming in mind, right? And then after this, then inshallah, put effort, right? Then nobody shows up. Okay, this should not happen. And in the end, if you get a little time, we will go through these questions. Whatever questions that you might have, I'll be happy to do that. First, let me finish this. 31. Also, the horns of an ox do not exist as having the nature of particles. Just as before, so is after, was to be thought here. Since things dependent originate, and independence too will cease. So ceasing and arising. So ceasing and arising mark impermanent phenomena. All impermanent phenomena should have ceasing and arising. The mind, which I said that it will forever last, even that is ceasing and arising. Arising and ceasing. Somebody who who's who's the youngest here? Okay, here. Okay, it doesn't matter. Okay, say yes. Who? No. Just say nobody. How old are you? 23. Okay, let's say somebody 20. Let's say 20 years here, Leorala. 20 years. Let's say 20 years. You getting it? Okay. So the say each one of us, when we were 20 years old. So 20 years old you, 20 years old I, we existed for 365 days. That 26 years old person existed for 365 years, right? So 19 years passed, then the 20 years old girl or the boy originated. It arises. Then the 21st years tomorrow, 21st year next is completion 1 year. Then the 20 years old cease, 21st year arises. You're getting it? This is how everything is, all composite things are marked by arising and ceasing, arising and ceasing. The mind, it exists, the self exists eternally. Mind exists eternally. It doesn't mean that eternally means it lasts forever. Lasting forever, it doesn't mean that it's permanent, right? It lasts forever, but while it lasts, it is changing constantly. It is momentarily changing. Okay. So, since things dependently originate, and dependence too will cease, only by dependence on the causes and factors, then the results arise, right? Results arise by dependence on causes and the causes and conditions, and the results arise because of its own components inside. For example, the shoot arises. Apple shoot arises. So that arises by dependence on the apple seed, water, manure, sunlight, and so forth. And while it is in the form of the apple shoot, is made of millions of atoms. It is also dependent on these atoms. It is dependent on the previous causes. It is also dependent on the particles. You're getting it? So it only exists by dependence. Arising of the shoot, arising of any composite phenomena should necessarily come into being. This arising happens because of dependence. Dependence means, what's the opposite of dependence? Independence. It's not independent. So, independence, objective existence, inherent existence, they all mean the same. So, even the arising does not have independent existence, does not have objective existence. Likewise, ceasing. Why something should cease? For example, say, this light should be existing like this for at least for the next, say, 1 day, 2 day, 10 day, whatever, right? We expect this to, if we have to change this light, we have to change this light, the wiring, everything, after every 1 day, it's a very tedious work, right? It's a very hard work. So therefore, you do it, and then if you are very careful with this, it may last for like 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. You're getting it? But whereas, although it's meant to be like this for at least for the next 1 month or 1 year, and then tomorrow, suddenly the light may not be working because there's a power cut somewhere, right? Power cut somewhere, so the light is affected. Light ceased. Light stopped by dependence on other factors. So even the ceasing is because of the dependence on other factors. So arising is because of other factors, ceasing is also because of other factors. 32. Since things dependent originate meaning arise, and dependence too will cease. If not even one of them exists, even if not even one of them exists objectively the way we see them, how can the childish think of them? How can the childish we see them as real? Okay, how many have seen the rainbow in your life? At least once. How many have never seen rainbow in your life? Okay, we all have seen rainbow. And rainbow, let's say, we're seeing the rainbow 1 kilometer away from this clubhouse. It's very beautiful. And then there is a small child with you, age 3 or age 4, and asks you, please take me there. Will you take the child there? If you take, you're also a small child. Right? So it says, how can the childish think of them? Right? Why the child is asking you to take him or her there? Why? Because the child thinks that it exists objectively. You can go there, you can get hold of that, you can play with this. This is what the child thinks. Whereas you know that the closer you go to the rainbow will disappear, it's not there. This is what you know. So whereas, okay, so seeing the rainbow as so real, as objectively real, that is described as a child. Seeing things as objectively real, they are described as childish. And who are they? We are the small children. We see things as so real. You getting it? Okay. Okay, this is what we can do. You know, while empty, of course, emptiness is not easy. It's a subtle topic. I wouldn't say difficult. It's a subtle topic. But we can try. You are very convinced that this water, or this mug, let's say this mug, I'm sure that it's made of millions of atoms. I'm sure. Right? And can you imagine that you go into this level of seeing the atoms? Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that? Okay. And although intellectually you may be able to imagine that, but experientially you cannot really imagine that. It's quite difficult. So for that matter, you should be a little observant. You should be a little observant. Observant in two ways. One, say in a very clean glass, very clean, high quality glass, put a very clean water. Keep looking at it. Initially you look at it, it's very clean, transparent. Keep looking at it. Be a very refined observer. Be a very refined observer. Keep looking at it. Then you will start seeing the very tiny particles with your own naked eyes. We can see that. If you're not being a good observer, you just look at it, it's very clean. You will not see the tiny particles inside. You can see the very tiny particles. Keep observing this, keep observing this. Sometimes, in the night, you can gaze in the sky. Sometimes when the sky is so bright, so clear, gaze in the sky, not on the sun. Not to the sun, to the sky, open sky. Just keep gazing at it, and you will see the same. You will see some very tiny, like atoms moving here and there. Actually, they are not atoms here. It is what is happening in your eyelids. The blood, the fluid in your the lens, they are flowing. You are seeing them. You're getting it? Be a very good observer. Okay. With this, only if you have that experience to see the wonder of seeing the fineness of the particles in the space, in the water. When you see them, you have to spend time. Don't tell, okay, now I have to do this job for 5 minutes, very quick, and then I have to do. If this is your mindset, you will never see the tiny, fine things there. You must give yourself time and space, right? Okay, even if it takes me like 2 hours, it doesn't matter. I'll just keep observing it. So now this is my time for this. Just keep observing it. Then you will start seeing the fine things. This is how our mind becomes so observant. You won't believe His Holiness the Dalai Lama. His Holiness the Dalai Lama, if he sits here, he will just scan through like this. The moment he scans through like this, he knows literally, I'm not just exaggerating, literally he saw through each one of you. Your eyes, spectacles, the clothes, everything. He just scanned through. Right? And from your facial expression, what kind of mental state you're going through, you're a little happy, not happy, or a little tense, he could just sense it. So observant, very sharply observant. So this is how the Bodhisattvas should practice, to be very observant, not to miss any opportunity to know things. Be very observant. With this, then you can do this. Okay, so because that you have that experience, if I go to being very observant, I can see what is ordinarily seen as clear water is not really clear. There's tiny particles inside. What is this open clear sky? It's not an open sky. There's a tiny the particles moving here and there. Once you have that experience, not just intellectual is so precious, so precious. Some people say that, what is intellectual? This is also one extreme. Intellectual is so precious. We can only climb to the experience of emptiness on the staircase of the intellectual understanding. Intellectual understanding then should be translated into experience. Experience. This will make you then imbibe with it.